guys, and welcome back to another video on my channel. In this video, I want to talk to you guys about Heartland Season 17, Episode 9, because I just finished watching it, and there's a lot to discuss. I think this episode really sets into motion some storylines that we're going to see in the upcoming seasons of Heartland. Yes, I'm very confident that there will be a Heartland Season 18, and I think this episode, at least in my opinion, proves it. And if there's not a Season 18, I'm going to be very surprised because the way this episode went and the way the story progressed, it really set up future seasons, specifically with Amy and Nathan and a new possible relationship. So that is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. I'm going to talk about this episode in many videos as there's a lot to discuss because, as I said, I think that this episode is a lot more important than you might realize to the future of Heartland. When you first watch this episode, I don't think that you'll quite realize what the writers are trying to do with this episode and what they have done successfully. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in today's video. However, before I continue, I need to remind you guys to please leave a like on the video if you enjoy and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for daily Heartland videos and Season 18 updates. If you want to stay up to date on everything Heartland related, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. So this episode was the episode of the season I was most looking forward to, specifically because if you've been a fan of my channel for a long time or you've watched my videos for a while, about a year or so ago, I think, or maybe even 2 years now, I did a video talking about the one thing that upset me about Heartland, and that was how the Shane storyline was handled. I hated the fact that they introduced Shane as Tim's son, and then we didn't see him for like 10 years. And I was like, why? Why introduce a character that is introduced as one of the main character's sons, and then we never see him again? That bothered me because I was really invested in that storyline, and I just did not understand why the writers dropped it. I didn't. So that's the reason I was looking forward to this episode specifically, was because Miranda was arriving and Shane was there, and I was like, okay, finally they're bringing back this storyline. Thank you for bringing back this storyline, because you shouldn't have dropped it in the first place. But then I watched the episode and I was like, oh, they're not just bringing back Shane, they're setting up for the future of Heartland. Let me explain. So, when it comes to Amy's relationship, that is something that if you are involved at all in conversations within the Heartland community on social media, specifically Instagram or Facebook, you will know that the Heartland community is very split on whether or not Amy should have a relationship or whether or not she shouldn't. And I'm in the camp that she should and she needs to, and I've explained why from a writing standpoint many times, but I will summarize it as quickly as I can. Amy is the main character of Heartland. When you run out of stories for the main character, it is very hard for a show to continue. Ty died in season 14. Amy and Ty were the main reason a lot of people watched Heartland. Ty's not there anymore. So what's the easiest storyline that the writers could use and run with to create more stories? A new relationship for Amy. And that is what I think they set in motion in this episode specifically. Granted, they've been doing it for the entire season, but in this episode, I was like, yeah, okay, you're going down this road, aren't you? And if you've watched the episode, it's very obvious. If you've watched season 17 at all, it is very obvious that there's something going on with Nathan and Amy. It's obvious that Amy likes Nathan, but she doesn't know how to feel about it. And it's obvious that Nathan likes Amy, and he doesn't know how to feel about it. Okay? And then after this episode, when we find out that Nathan's ex-wife cheated on him, and we had that whole conversation that got really deep really fast between him and Amy, I was like, Alright, this is going somewhere, isn't it? This is the new relationship. Because why would they have such a deep conversation? Just why? Why would they have that if it wasn't supposed to create a connection between them? In my opinion, and also as someone who understands good writing in TV shows and movies. So that is just my opinion. I think that this episode really set into motion Amy and Nathan's relationship, and I will be very surprised if he isn't Amy's new love interest. And quite frankly, I will be a little bit upset because then this whole deep conversation was meaningless, and I was like, well, guess I was wrong, and guess that conversation meant nothing. But then the other thing is the final scene where we have Amy swinging on the swing and Nathan climbing up into the tree. That whole scene, the way it was edited together, I was like, this is what they're doing. And I'm honestly happy about it. I know some people won't be, but at the end of the day, I want there to be as many seasons of Heartland as humanly possible. And with Amy being the main character, they need to create storylines for Amy, and the easiest way to do that is to give Amy a new love interest, in my opinion. I know some people are going to disagree, but that's just my opinion. And honestly, I really do like Nathan's character. I wasn't sure about him at first, only because I'm scared of how the Heartland community is going to react, because some people are not taking Amy's new relationship very well at all. And the Heartland community is very split. Trust me, I'm very aware of that fact. So, yeah, that's just what I thought. I think that this episode was very well done. I'm excited to see what's next for Amy and Nathan. And I think they do work well together. I want to know more about Nathan as a character, more about his past, but I think if and when he's introduced as more of a main character, I think that we will get to know more about his past, and I think that is crucial, and I think it's needed, and I hope the writers don't just ignore that, because that's how you connect the audience to a new character, is by giving them a meaningful backstory, in my opinion. But that is all I have for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.